right. A scattered shower day today throughout the state of South Carolina, as we had showers, we had storms going throughout the state today as well. And it honestly was a more just normal rain type day, cloudy type day. And so we're going to talk about, our future in terms of maybe dry and mild conditions tonight through Sunday under a high pressure, increasing shower chances late Sunday into Monday. Drier weather returns Tuesday into the midweek before the front, and then temperatures near or above normal through the weekend, then slightly cooling early next week. All of that we will talk about. If you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Also hit the subscribe button. We are at right now 732, trying to get to that main goal of 800. So what's currently going on? Well, if we want to look at the radar right now, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing right now throughout the state of South Carolina. But if we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., obviously that is not really the case too much. Not really the case too much. If we go on and look at, where's my pen at? I know this is a new thing right here. I think, yeah, right over here. All right. But we're seeing rainfall down here from Georgia through Florida, through Alabama, through Mississippi, through Louisiana. We have some severe weather going on over here in Oklahoma, going on in Kansas, also over here inside of Missouri. We also do have some rainfall in New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, some rainfall in Maine, Massachusetts, even some rain over here inside of Wyoming, Nebraska, and also in the Four Corners area. But look over here in the west, nice and dry out there in the west. Now, what's going on in terms of our cloud cover? Well, in terms of cloud cover right now, we do in fact have some. You can see some up there inside of the upstate. You can see some in the Midlands. You can see some in the low country. You even can see some inside of the PD and the Grand Strand area. So all areas right now are receiving cloud cover as we speak. And so it seems like that most likely will continue. That most likely will continue. If we go on and look and see what's going on in terms of our cloud cover for the future, go on and push this forward, that cloud cover will continue to move as we go into like tomorrow morning. It'll try to move through and actually will look pretty good. I mean, this goes all the way to, I believe this is around close to 2 p.m. or so. And you even have some more cloud cover maybe trying to come into play. By the time we move into tomorrow evening, we move into tomorrow night, going into Monday morning, cloud cover does build up a lot more, but it's definitely not the worst. Now, what about for our live temperatures? Live temperatures right now seem to be going throughout 71. Somerville, 72. Charleston, 72. Beaufort, as well as 70. Hilton Island, 69. Orangeburg, as well as 70. In Georgetown, 70. In Myrtle Beach and Murrells Inlet, as well as 69. In Conway, Florence, 69. Hartsville. And if we move up towards the upstate, we're talking about 66. York, Rock Hill, Spartanburg, 67. In Greenville, 68. Clemson and Anderson. Now, for our air quality, we do in fact have some air quality going on, some not so good air quality, because obviously we have air quality going on throughout the state constantly, but we do in fact have some going on over into the upstate, Spartanburg's included, going on over inside of portions of Greenville, just to the east. And so that's where the moderate area of air quality is. Now, as we go into low temperatures for tonight, we're talking about 57 in Greenville, 56 Spartanburg, as well as 57 in Rock Hill, 62 Newberry, as well as 64 in Columbia, 65 inside of Sumter, 66 in Orangeburg, and 62 in Moncks Corner, 67 Charleston, 69 Hilton Island, and 66 in Myrtle Beach. High temperatures for tomorrow, 80s. 86 Columbia, 85 Sumter, 84 in Moncks Corner, as well as 82 in Charleston, 82 Georgetown, and 82 in Barnwell, 84 inside of Aiken and Greenwood, 82 Lawrence and Greenville, as well as 83 in Spartanburg. Rainfall as we move throughout the next 24 hours, 1/10 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch from Sumter, Myrtle Beach, Moncks Corner, 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch for Walterboro, Charleston, Hilton Island, maybe even 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch for areas. But it's not the worst, and it definitely will be beneficial. So we're not talking about any sort of like flooding or anything like that. If we go on and look at excessive rainfall, obviously we have nothing for tonight, nothing for tomorrow. If you go all the way throughout the next 5 days, we are good in terms of excessive rainfall. So that's not something to watch for. Thunderstorms, though, on the other hand, could definitely still happen. I mean, even though there's no convection going on right now, they still have us under a risk of thunderstorms, I guess, because the ingredients are there, and that kind of does go more into tomorrow, like the late tonight. So that may be included as of why. And then as you go into tomorrow, thunderstorms again are possible. But our main day severe weather, Monday. Marginal risk of severe weather, Midlands to the Low Country, through the PD, through the Grand Strand areas. So we definitely have to watch out for some severe weather there. Now, they will show us what the main threats are as we get into tomorrow, so we'll check that out tomorrow evening. And if we go on and look at fire weather is not expected at this time either. Now for the crazy score. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how active our conditions are throughout the entire state of South Carolina, and that was the wrong score right now. Let me go in and refresh it real quick. Should take it probably around 2 seconds. Here it is at a 9. We're at a 9 for tonight in the calm category. No significant weather, clouds going on. Not the entire state isn't completely clouded up though, so I guess that's why it's keeping us out of that mild category. But honestly, if I was to have it myself, because obviously this right here is automated, I'd have it more probably near that 15, 14 mark, but 9 is where it has it. And the reason why, very quiet, pleasant night. We're talking about cloudy skies kind of, but not completely cloudy. Completely dry, cool lows in the mid 50s, 60s, we saw that. And then also we're talking about low humidity. Drought concerns are still technically there. But it's obviously not going to be as different from what we saw yesterday or last night or anything like that. But they are still there. Now let's go and look at the models. Time is at the bottom part of your screen. Make sure that you go in and pay attention to that because that is pretty important. If you do not keep a look at the time, there's a good chance that you may accidentally get lost. And so we don't want anybody to be thinking something else when it was actually something completely different from what they thought. So we're going to check out the models real quick first, the short-term models first. And we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m., 7-hour mark here. And just once we just push this forward, you definitely still see some more shower activity starting to move over into the low country areas by around 12 a.m., going on to around 3 a.m., 4, 5, all the way to around 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we still have rainfall going throughout the state here. And so this goes all the way through 8 a.m., going all the way through 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't see as much as you move into the afternoon, even as you go into like the later morning, early afternoon, going into the later afternoon. You're not seeing too much in terms of rainfall activity. But once you move all the way through to around 12 o'clock in the morning on Monday, you're still not seeing anything. But watch when we get to around 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock p.m. on Monday. There, we finally are starting to see some more scattered shower activity start to pick up. And then the main actual rain band that's going to try and move throughout the state on Monday will try to move through as we get into the afternoon throughout the upstate. And this is the day that we have our severe weather. So we're going to watch, especially once we get into tomorrow evening when we talk about the week forecast, which, by the way, that is tomorrow. Make sure that you're there for tomorrow for our week forecast, Sunday, May the 10th. Going into Saturday, May the 16th. So all of that, really for the short-term future, I mean, the only thing that really happens is we're going to see a good amount of rainfall in like the low country areas tonight. But, I mean, even as we go into tomorrow morning maybe as well, but it's not overall, I mean, overall it's not going to be bad. Not going to be bad. So what about for the long-term future? We're going to start off here at the 48-hour mark. Once we move forward, Monday, I already said Monday was going to be a pretty active day, and it's still looking like Monday will be that pretty active day. We go all the way through around 8 p.m., going all the way to 2 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. And just overall, it just looks pretty active all the way from Monday through Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, looks good. Wednesday looks good for the most part. And then Thursday comes along. And Wednesday and Thursday, they aren't completely dry, it looks like. It looks like that they are most likely just going to be like a little transition day. Remember, it said that could be like a little front that may try to move through midweek. That could bring some showers with it, but it doesn't look too bad, and it's not going to be too beneficial for us. But rain is rain, so no matter if it is there or not. Now watch as you move into Thursday, going into Friday, Saturday. I mean, the weekend, it looks good to end off the week next week. Then once we go into next weekend, going through Sunday, going through Monday, and then even going all the way into Tuesday, it doesn't look that bad. We go into the midweek of here's May the 20th, going into the 21st here. Just a good amount of rainfall going on. A good amount of rainfall definitely going on. Going through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the 23rd going to the 24th. So conditions are getting more active. Conditions definitely seem to try and get more active after we get throughout the last as we get into the last half of May, the 15th onward. So things do look a little bit better. And when we go on and take a look at how much rainfall we could see throughout like the next 400 hours or so, obviously, it's not going to be exact, but, we're talking about a 400-hour span here. Things are not going to be exactly correct. We go in and look at that right here. And the GEFS right now is telling us around a good inch or two. So, will that be enough to get rid of the drought? No. Will it be enough to help? Yes, will be enough to help. But I still don't see this drought going anywhere anytime soon. And if we go in and look at the European model, the European ensemble, and we go around 360 hours out, this one is kind of a bit less. Shows around a good inch or so, maybe an inch and a half maximum. Maybe even an inch and 3/4. Now, if we go on and take a look at, the timing with it, just seeing, when we could potentially get those big rain events to try and move through. I mean, we definitely see some rainfall this weekend. We know that we see rainfall Monday, maybe a little bit midweek. But we don't really see anything throughout the last part of next week, which I kind of did talk about. Next big rainfall maker, though, it's going to be kind of gradual. See, all of this rainfall that we get, it's going to be kind of gradual. You're not seeing one huge dump of rainfall kind of coming in at the same time. It's gradual and it happens over time. And so that's what I've been saying for weeks now. We can't just get rid of this drought at once. We have to go on and get rid of this drought slowly, because if we get it all at one time, it's going to cause flooding, it's going to cause problems. And it seems like that's what right now the models are saying, at least the GEFS is saying. It's saying it's going to be like a gradual amount of rainfall that's going to gradually help out the drought as we go along. Now, what about for our actual temperatures? We're going to look at the anomalies first. This is not the actual temperatures. These are the anomalies. So this is showing our temperatures above average, our temperatures below average, our temperatures near normal, all of that. So we go on and push this forward, and once we get to around 11 a.m., all the way on Sunday, all the way through to Monday, we know it's going to be cold. We know it's going to be cooler, at least, maybe not cold, but cooler, as we have that cold front that just moved through. Even as we get into the midweek, still cooler. Thursday going into Friday, Saturday. But watch once we hit that Friday going into Saturday next week. You see a bit of a flip happen. And you start to see more warmer air start to take over. And so I said this yesterday, that once we kind of get towards mid-month, we're going to start to see those temperatures switch from cool dominant to warm dominant. And it seems like that's still the case. Now, will we have cooler air? Obviously, yes. I mean, cool air is just not just going to magically go away. But it does look like for a good little bit, we could be more on the warmer side. But like I said, cool air will still be here. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, if we look at our actual temperatures for the next 300 hours or so, obviously, like the precipitation totals, it's not going to be exactly correct, but it can give us at least an idea of what we're going to see temperature pattern-wise, and, if you have something in the future that you want to look for. But watch as we go into Sunday. Obviously, we know those are going to be up into the 80s. We go into Monday having some 70s, 80s. But those temperatures really do drop from that cold front, and then we're going to see temperatures down to the 70s, down to the 60s maybe for some highs for some people, like near the coastal areas. So it's going to definitely be cooler. and we definitely will feel it. I mean, we even have low temperatures some nights being down into the 50s, maybe even the 40s. I mean, because watch as we go into, I think I just saw it. This is going to Tuesday morning, Tuesday night. We're seeing some mainly just 50s. I see a 51, so could potentially be down to the 40s for some areas next week. Now, as we go through into Wednesday, going into Thursday, again, still 80s continue to bring their way through. And once you go into Friday, near 85. Saturday of next weekend, look at this 89, 90 degrees. I mean, 90 degrees definitely possible as we get into next weekend. And then once we move into Sunday, going into, 95 next weekend here. But we're going to go in and switch gears and go to the GEFS because once we get to around 200 hours out, that's where I like to kind of switch it. We're going to go to the mean here. And one thing I will say is you still see those high 80s. You still see maybe some low 90s. So the fact that the ensembles are saying it, that's a good sign that it could happen. Next weekend could potentially be pretty hot. And not only next weekend, but potentially even during the week. Monday, Tuesday, 90s. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 80s going into the 90s almost all week. Not next week, but all week the week after. So if you want hot temperatures, you have something to look forward to. But if you hate hot temperatures, well, you may not be looking too much forward towards the week after next week because 90s are on the way. 90s are on the way. I mean, they're going to happen eventually, but it looks like they could happen a lot. And it looks like those warmer temperatures aren't going anywhere anytime soon. We're still seeing 80s as we move into like the last couple of days of May still. So that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of our future temperatures and just models in general. Earthquake, there was an earthquake that did occur today. Let's see. Yep, there was an earthquake that did occur today. Let me go on. Oh, well, you can kind of see it already, but here we go. There was an earthquake that occurred today. It was indeed inside of the upstate, kind of right next to where that other one was. The one on the right was from yesterday, and then the one that I'm selected on, the blue one, that is for today. And so this right here is saying that we had a 2.4 magnitude earthquake kind of in that same area. That happened, it's kind of hard to see, but I think that says today at 4:01 in the morning. 4:01 in the morning. This morning. So very, very early. Very, very early. But almost exactly 24 hours away. Maybe around like 21 hours and some change away from each other. But again, relatively weak. Relatively weak. We're not seeing anything, like huge 5 or 6, magnitude earthquakes. Obviously, that's not happening. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with Mr. Chris. He was here first tonight. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. My Aunt Lewis says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Then, my Aunt Lewis also says, hopefully everyone had a blessed day. Mr. Chris says, was very nice here in Moncks Corner. Got to around 78. Currently, it's 71. Well, at my house right now, it seems to be currently around a good 73. High temperatures today at my house was around 78. My Nan says, hello, Jay. Hello to you. And then my Aunt Lewis says, today in Georgetown, we did have a little shower. However, it didn't last long. Same at my house today. Let's see. Let me see how much rainfall I got over here today. 0.01. So, yeah, not a whole lot at all. But, like I said earlier, some is better than none. Now, as we continue our way down, my Nan says, a cloudy day, but nice. Well, thank you so much for that weather report. My Aunt Lewis says, today in Georgetown, I was around 79. Currently, it's 71. Then Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. My Aunt Lewis says, after our hit and miss shower, we got plenty of sunshine. Didn't get too much sunshine at my house today. It was actually pretty cloudy for the majority of the day. Dad says, good evening, Joseph and the 360 Weather family. Well, good evening to you. I trust all is well with everyone. I'm so excited to see all that rain you guys are getting. I know it was much needed. It was a bit on the hot side here today in San Antonio. Got up to around 93. Beautiful day with beautiful clouds. I admired them from the shade. Currently 82 outside. We are hoping for some rain tonight and maybe even tomorrow. Well, glad to hear that you guys have some more chance of rain over there, and I hope you do get that chance. Hope you do get that rain, I should say. Then Mr. Chris says, please remember to go and hit the like button and subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know it's free. And then as we continue down, my Aunt Lou says, hopefully Monday's shower will help every little bit of the rainfall, help out the drought, absolutely. Trail says, greetings everyone, greetings to you. Miss Chris says, wow, it's going to be hot. And then my cousin Cheryl says, good evening everyone, good evening weatherman. Again, happy birthday to my cousin. Everyone have a wonderful Mother's Day, and today was nice in Philly. Well, thank you so much for that weather update for where you are. And then my Aunt Lewis says, well, I do like warm temperatures. If it is too hot, then it's time for the AC. AC's already running in my house already. So even though, I mean, it was only around 78, it kicked on. It did kick on today. But that's all that I can see here throughout the chat. And so we have a question. We do, in fact, have a question that I'm going to ask tonight. Because obviously, we know that we have to give out a top fan to somebody. And so we have a question tonight. So make sure that you're ready to type. Because, obviously, there's some fast typers out here. So you have to be quick. And so my question is, it was actually kind of at the beginning. So if you weren't here from at the, not really the beginning, but kind of near the low temperatures part, if you weren't here from that time, you probably won't know. And that's why I said you got to be early if you want to go and get top fan. But if you can tell me, and it's for the people who are paying attention, if you can tell me where and what city, or any city inside of that vicinity, I should say, what city it was that the moderate air quality index was in, you will win top fan of the night for tonight. That's the question. Where was that moderate area of air quality throughout the state? If, nobody has an answer and, nobody's even close, I will give out a little bit of a hint, but, we're gonna give everybody some time real quick. But wherever that moderate area of air quality was, any sort of, it has to be a city name. It can't be, like an area. You can't say, oh, it was in the low country, or, it was in the PD areas. I need a specific city for it. But let's go on now and talk about the 4 areas outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 areas outside of South Carolina? What am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because they tune in almost nightly, we're going to give them their weather forecast for them. So we always start off with San Antonio first because usually that's the first one that we've ever done before. But right here, you see low temperatures tonight 72, high temperature for tomorrow at 91, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 68. Precipitation not expected for tonight. Same thing tomorrow. But tomorrow night, showers are definitely expected. So you definitely do want to watch for that, and honestly, be happy for that because you just said earlier you wanted the rainfall. Well, the rainfall is coming tomorrow night. Now, in terms of severe weather and excessive rainfall, usually, obviously when you get that rainfall, it usually is good. But tomorrow may not be the best of best, if that makes sense. And I'll explain why right now. You have a slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow. Now, it's kind of odd. I'm going to have to check out the official SPC website, but you do have a chance of severe weather for tomorrow. They have it kind of weird because they have it you in a marginal risk for everything else, but not for the official. I'm gonna have to check out the website because I think something's going wrong with theirs right now. So you have a slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow. You have a 15% risk of damaging winds, scattered damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour is expected. And isolated damaging hail of up to an inch in diameter is also possible. So just make sure that you're aware, and make sure that you are prepared for whenever you get those storms tomorrow. Excessive rainfall wise, I'm not seeing anything for you right now all the way through day 1. Same thing for day 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, it seems like everybody is good. Everybody seems to be doing good for excessive rainfall wise, though. So that's pretty much all for you. Just make sure that you definitely do enjoy the rainfall tomorrow or tomorrow night, because pretty much for your future, you're not expected to see too much rainfall after tomorrow night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way to Saturday, no chance of rainfall. In fact, your temperatures will also continue to rise up as well. So it's only going to get more strenuous, only going to get more dry for you. Only going to get more dry from here. Next up, let's go on and talk about Raleigh, North Carolina. You have low temperatures tonight at around a good 60. High temperatures for tomorrow at 85, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. There is indeed no precipitation that is expected at this time. No precipitation that's expected at this time. You will have a chance of rainfall, though, as you get into Monday night, and then as you move all the way through Wednesday night going into Thursday. So you definitely do have a chance of rainfall there. But temperatures will continue to kind of drop for you. You were talking about down to the 70s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But then you'll kind of stay in that 70 range all the way through Friday. Then Saturday comes along and you're near 85. You're back to around 85 or so. So it will be a bit breezy, though, as you get into Monday, though. I mean, around 20 miles per hour or so. So just a little bit. And one other thing, fog tonight, going into tomorrow morning, mainly tomorrow morning. So if you're out tomorrow morning, make sure that you have low beams on. Please, please, please do not go outside when it is foggy outside with your car and your lights are not on. The amount of people that I see here, especially in South Carolina, that do not have their lights on while it is foggy outside is kind of disappointing. And another thing, when it's raining outside, please make sure that you have your lights on as well. Just make sure that you do. Almost saw something happen the other day because somebody did not have their lights on, and it was raining outside. So just make sure, like, that when you get in your car, you see that it's foggy, you see that it's raining outside, you see all of that stuff going on, that you have your lights on, low beams on. High beams are not needed for that, unless you if you have terrible low beams, you probably need to get them changed out. But fog lights as well if you have them, especially with newer cars as well. But away from that, let's go to Philadelphia. Low temperatures tonight 53, high temperature for tomorrow at 81, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. No precipitation tonight. Tomorrow, chance of thunderstorms is there, and then showers are likely as you move into tomorrow night. Now, fog is also expected for you tonight going into tomorrow. So again, make sure you have those lights on. Low beams, no high beams. Please do not do that. And then in terms of your future, because obviously you have no severe weather, no excessive rainfall, temperatures are going to drop. Monday, Tuesday, highs only going to the 60s. And then you're going to kind of stay into the 60s until finally get to around Friday and Saturday, you get back up into the 70s. But it will be pretty active. Monday night, Tuesday night looks pretty dry. But going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that chance of rainfall definitely is still there. So that's definitely something you want to pay attention to. As you go into your future, make sure you can plan around it. But again, no severe weather, no excessive rainfall. Just got to watch out for that. And then finally, probably the most active area, usually always the most active, but sometimes it's not, Duncan, Oklahoma. And that being with low temperatures tonight, 64, high temperature for tomorrow at 76, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 53. Chance of thunderstorms tonight, tomorrow, showers are expected, and tomorrow night, slight chance of thunderstorms. Now, in terms of your severe weather, you do have a chance for severe weather, especially as you get into, let me see, oh my gosh, this website right here is just bugging out. But especially as you go into tonight and tomorrow. In fact, you're actually under a severe thunderstorm watch right now. Let me see. Duncan is not quite near the area yet, but you do have a severe thunderstorm to your north and west, and it's doing considerable damage right now. 70-mile-per-hour winds, ping pong ball sized hail. It's moving over towards seems like more towards the south and east, and that's up near like Apache, up near Carnegie, those areas. And then you have one to your west, near Faxon, near Geronimo, near Walters, and that's continuing to move east as well. So you may get the outskirts, or you may get impacted. It just matters on what happens with these right now. What are the hazards? Obviously, isolated tornadoes are possible, scattered damaging wind gusts of up to around 60 miles per hour, and scattered damaging hail of up to an inch in diameter, or you may even see some isolated stones of up to 2 inches in diameter if a storm does get to you. Tomorrow you have another risk. That's a marginal risk of severe weather, isolated damaging wind gusts, and isolated damaging hail of up to an inch in diameter. All of that is possible. And then as you go into your future, it does look like that the rest of the week's going to be pretty nice. Thursday night, you may have some activity. Saturday, you may have some activity going into the weekend. But for the majority of the week, you look nice. I mean, temperatures even trying to get up into the 90s for the majority of the week. Wednesday going all the way throughout into Saturday. So let's go on now and talk about the entire U.S. weather news-wise. Yes, that includes South Carolina, and that does include the areas that we were just talking about. Here it is right here. Oops, let me go ahead and get that. A couple of frontal boundaries will move east and south from the plains to the Gulf and Atlantic coastlines. These boundaries will focus shower and thunderstorms through the weekend with scattered severe storms from the southern plains and across the Gulf Coast states. Locally heavy rainfall may also occur, which may be welcome news, especially across those drought areas. Meanwhile, heat continues to stay in the west. We also will see some frost, even some freezing conditions. The Dakotas, Minnesota, Michigan, seeing some freezing temperatures. And that's about all that I can see here. So we're going to go on and end this off. Yes, Mr. Chris, you did get it correct. Spartanburg, Greenville area. It was in Spartanburg. So you did win it tonight. So top fan of the night goes to you. And then honorable mentions. Let's see. We have my Nana, my Lula, and then Thad. So congratulations to the four of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. So all of that, and then let me see, did I get any emails? I did. Mr. Chris says clouds moving in at around 5:10 p.m. Clouds moving in at around 5:10 p.m. So if you want to go in and send me in a picture, you can by sending it to scweather360@gmail.com. Again, that is scweather360@gmail.com. So again, this is the picture that he sent in right here. Or you can at me on Twitter, 360_weather. Again, that is 360_weather. And that's all I have to say really for tonight. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow morning, Sunday morning forecast update. Also tomorrow evening for your Sunday evening forecast update. Week forecast will be tomorrow evening. Also, I forgot to do this completely last week, or this week, I guess I should say. I did not give a round of applause for getting halfway through the week, nor did I give one for getting through the week on Friday. So we're going to just go on and give that round of applause now. Yeah, so that was my apologies. I did completely just spaced on that last week. Last week was a crazy, crazy week last week. Just active all over the place. But that's all. So just make sure that, like I said, you tune in tomorrow. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're at 732, trying to get to 800. And share with your friends, family members, acquaintances, people that you don't talk to regularly. It's free. It's absolutely free. I will be back tomorrow. Hit those two buttons before you leave.